Hi, welcome to another episode of It's Messy, but It's So Good. And before we get started with this beautiful interview with Margie DeRosso, I just wanted to mention that we're having a giveaway, a contest where you can actually win a free coaching and EFT session, emotional freedom technique session with me. And all you have to do is follow us and give us a review and tag me or email me or DM me to let me know, and I will enter you into the contest. This goes till the end of December, and I will announce the winner in January, which is perfect timing for setting your intentions for the new year and maybe working on some of that. So follow us and give us a review. I would so appreciate that. And today I have my beautiful friend, Margie DeRosso. And Margie is a singer and a songwriter. And she discusses the gifts of kindness and compassion that she's gained through her musical journey and how they shaped her life. I know you're going to love this beautiful interview and enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to It's Messy, but It's So Good. And today I have my dear friend, Margie DeRosso, as a guest. Hi, Margie.
Hey, how are you, Fran?
I'm good. I'd love to introduce you by reading your bio to the audience.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Margie DeRosso is a singer-songwriter that has been sharing her love of music and healing, and I will say healing, through intuitive workshops, coaching for inner worth, and by leading chanting classes. During the pandemic, Margie held live chanting to help people cope during so much uncertainty. Along with her musical partner, Dave Lang, the duo brings the acoustic strains of folk, country, and rock to old and new audiences alike, playing at breweries, wineries, and private events in the tri-state area. And that's in the New York tri-state area. In 2004, Margie founded Pathways Through Music. And Margie is the mom of 4, grandma to 1, and she has 4 CDs out, which we can also put in the show notes for people. So welcome, Margie.
Wow, thank you so much, Fran. I'm already relaxed. I'm already good.
Yeah. So my first question to you is, I'd love to talk to people about their passion. And of course, this podcast is really focused on passion and how we travel along our path with passion through our life. So starting back from when you first developed this passion for music or anything else, healing, anything else you want to talk about, to where you are now, if you can just share a little bit about your journey.
Sure. So, if I go very far back, I've always was a child who loved music. I can just remember some very, very faint memories of me just feeling a part of a song where now I know what I was feeling was maybe the harmony or something, but I remember as a very young kid going, oh, with just that gasp for air, it takes your breath away. But honestly, I really don't know. I didn't really come from a very musical or creative family per se, like in my family of origin. And I remember very distinctly that first time. I've always loved to sing and do all kinds of things like that. But my friend, we were at a party in high school and she played the guitar and we started singing and our voices seemed to work together. And then from that point on, I was voracious. I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I was probably almost the annoying kid. How do you do that? How do you do that? So just I learned by myself. I picked up a chord here, I picked up a chord there. I learned as much as I could, and we're talking about the 70s. And just it just kind of continued. I enjoyed doing things in my teenage years, and then as I got a little older, um, there was also something that was very strong in me as a young child, and that was just this sense of spirit. And it's so funny because as a young child, I understood it somehow. And I knew that it wasn't religion per se, but it was just this sense of something bigger than yourself. And so I was always kind of searching, the wanderer searching for what that was as well. And so I think music was really something that really connected me even more to spirit and more to that spiritual side of me. And so as I grew and became more mature in music and creativity and just in myself, I think that I started to combine, that spiritual component. And yeah, and so through the years, lots of things came in my path, and one of them being chanting. And I'll talk about that a little later, but it just I don't know. Music has just been like the best friend I've ever had, and just cathartic, so cathartic when I write. So often I'll write a song. First of all, it's cathartic. It just lets out whatever is going on internally. And and then I start to understand, what am I going through? So it's just this partnership between that creative musical sense and me understanding who I am and what is the purpose on this earth. And so it's just very all encompassing it, and everything just ties together for me with that.
Yeah. I know that you developed in 2004 Pathways to Music. Could you share a little bit about, with the intention of that and how that developed for you?
Sure. So 2004, if I go back a couple of years, I remember just really needing to get away. I am the mom of four wonderful children, and at the time, my youngest was two. I'm somewhere around 18 months to 2 years old. If I right, but and I have a wonderful husband who was just like, go, go. So I took a workshop. I had no idea. It was kind of one of those things where I'll do this. I just felt I knew I needed to get away. So I went up to Omega and I said, oh, I like to sing. I'll try chanting. So I go to this, and it was like a light switch went off for me. Um, and I just started to understand that the power of intention, the power of our words, and music, which is the vehicle in which I use so often, to understand who I am, etc. So with that, coming back, on a cloud of air, as I might say, coming down the New York State Freeway, going, and all of a sudden it just made sense to me. And I just understood for myself, that this was something I wanted to do. So fast forward a couple of years later. And so I was already engaging in doing chanting classes in the area. And I had there was a nice class and lots of people rotated in and out. And it was wonderful to meet people. And because I just started, stepping out into that spiritual world a little bit here and there. And also I wanted to kind of bring music to other people. And so I started this, there's a little tiny place in Warwick, New York. And I did lessons, like guitar, beginner voice. We did little group things. I did workshops like the Artist's Way, songwriting workshops. And I met the most wonderful children, and I met the most wonderful adults. I had a combination of both, which I loved. And that was just a very enriching, wonderful time in my life. And it just continues now, like everything that happened then is just, I'm still a product of that in so many ways. And it was a wonderful time in my life. And yeah,
Yeah, I think that was around the time that I actually met you.
I,
Um,
yeah,
when you were doing the chanting workshops, and then you were doing the Artist's Way, which I took with you, which,
yeah.
by the way, I have something that I made in the class that I've kept all these years. It's on my windowsill. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love hearing that. You're not the first person to stop me in the street here and there, and or at that someone I haven't seen in a while, and just say, I took out. There's an envelope that one guy, my friend Cy, he basically now my friend. I didn't know him necessarily before these classes. Um, and he says, you know what? He goes, it was 10 years later, and he says, I opened up the envelope. And he said, and I just have to tell you, every single thing that I wanted in my life has come to fruition. And I just started crying, obviously, because that's just it's a beautiful thing, just to be able to help facilitate that kind of creative energy for all of us. And every time I did a workshop, I facilitated, I took it over and over again myself. So I was always learning new things. I never didn't, it was a very good class. I love the Artist's Way. You
You
get
know, with-
kudos to Julia Cameron.
yes.
Yes. Yeah. I would just facilitate. It was just a way to bring people together to work together on these wonderful concepts. Yeah.
I forgot about, some of I should take a look and see, because I'm now going through a cleaning process in my office of all accumulation. If I have that myself, where I had my intentions, and to take a look at that, because yeah, that would be fun. So I hope I come across it. Now I know I'll come across it, because
Yes. Because you're putting,
I probably need to hear it.
yeah.
Now, so, the podcast is it's messy, but it's so good. So in terms of some messiness in the process,
Plenty of mess. I
yeah.
love that, but that's what I love so much. I know I'm jumping in here.
Yeah, please.
It's so funny knowing what the name of the podcast was. And I sat there trying to say, I'm going to be organized and prepare for it. And then today was a very, very busy morning, and I thought to myself, that little bit of stress came in. And then I was like, wait a second. It's cold. It's messy. Like, this is my life. I mean, it's not necessarily that nothing's going to be clean cut and organized. Sometimes it falls into place, but it is messy, Fran. Absolutely.
Yeah, yes. And from your experience, because you have the creativity and the music that's been, really kind of probably gets you through the dips, very beautifully. What else would you share with the audience in terms of any tools or any ways of thinking that might be really powerful for them? If, let's say, they're musicians, or they're embarking on a passion journey of some kind, what has been helpful for you?
The So the very first thing I thought in my head, because again, I'm thinking right in this moment, right, is take take perfection off the table. Absolutely. It's so funny with my songwriting workshops that I did. I I would one of the first assignments was, and I remember seeing all the reactions. I said, I want you to go home and just like, using, some of the chord structures that we talked about and everything, but this is just a total creative thing. Write a really bad song. And everyone was like, what? And I just said, yeah, I don't want it to be good. I just want it to be like, you know, I don't want you to put too much thought into it. I don't want it to be perfect. I just want you to just write a really crappy song. And people were like, what? But I cannot tell you how many amazing faces I saw coming in the following week where they were like, they couldn't wait to share because the pressure to do well was off the table. And then their creative sides kind of kicked in and they started to get into it and enjoy the process. And some of them had really great songs and others didn't care because it was part of the assignment. So it's that's probably the best thing. I think that I was too much of a perfectionist in the, early parts of my music life. And anytime if I did 100 beautiful notes and I had one that didn't quite work out, that's the one I would fixate on, is that bad note. And it took me a bit of a lifetime to kind of understand that as a metaphor for life. And I'm still learning, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish we had more education about our nervous system when we were younger and how that all goes in our brain, and that it's really not anything that we're doing other than the addiction of the chemicals and all of that going on, the addiction to stress. It kind of takes the pressure off when you realize the brain just kind of tries to keep us safe and does a lot of that ego-driven thoughts, behaviors, and so forth. But it takes some time to really to write, to live life, and to go through the ups and downs and figure out what works for you personally. I know one of Kathy Heller, she has a podcast. She always says, "Be a C student."
Love that. I do.
Yeah. Yes. It gives you permission to just just go in there and without the perfection, and it's so much more fun, right?
But it's plenty of time to critique and edit and fix something up. But the creative process should really be without the editor in your head, without the perfectionist going, it it's it's vital to be able to have that creative flow going through you without any of those distractions and stressors. I think that's probably what people call like being in the flow of whatever they're doing, is because they've taken all of those other things out, the expectation of being perfect or the expectation of being orderly or whatever it is that you get fixated on in your head.
Yeah, for sure. Um, as far as your journey with music and some of the healing work that you've done, what is the greatest gift that you think you've received from your passion?
That's a really good question. What came to me first and foremost was kindness, compassion, and I feel like it's a two-way street because I have learned to be more compassionate with myself, and I have learned to just see the authenticness of people when they let their guard down and when they allow you a privilege, I would think, to see them as they are without pretense or anything else. And so kindness and compassion, believe it or not.
Yes, and you are truly a kind and compassionate person. I can say that, and friend.
I'm right back at you.
So,
Yeah.
can you share a little bit what you're up to nowadays? What you're focused on?
Well, it's interesting. I always call, parts of my life, my chapters, and, I'm kind of going into a new chapter, or maybe I'm already there and I'm just trying to adjust to it. Um, I, I have kind of, I have kind of slowed down and kind of taken some quieter paths, I guess you could say. I still do some chanting when people ask me to. And Dave, who is my singing partner, Dave and I, we go out and we have so much fun going out and singing and playing at different events and breweries, wineries, etc., restaurants. And So I've been really enjoying that. I have absolutely been enjoying songwriting, and I probably since the pandemic, I've probably written about 50 or 60 songs. Some maybe never to be heard. Some of it maybe just recorded for myself. So I have been diving into, where I feel led. The pressure is a little bit off for me. I mean, I do make money in very different ways, but I feel like it's my time in life to take that breath and to grow as a human, but also to relax and find joy and to share that joy. When I feel joy, I think it automatically makes me want to share it. And also, I know it's a big long answer, but also I have really committed to being of service in some areas of my life. And by that, I mean, maybe just one or two people that I know are struggling and I want, or, and right now there's a few people in my life that I am just dedicating time to because I just know when you're in a dark place or when you're having struggles or whatever, it helps to have people that kind of see you, feel you, have a lot of compassion or a lot of faith that this too shall pass, sort of thing. So yes, I've made a commitment to do that in my life right now, and that feels good. And it also just changes the goals for me. It just makes me kind of look back and just say, okay, it's okay. I am making a difference in this world. And I don't know if anyone out there or if you feel this way sometimes, or sometimes I'm feeling, what am I doing? I'm not really doing much of anything. Just singing and I'm just, of course, all those negative things that we say about ourselves, and you can start to feel like I'm not doing anything to make a difference in this world. But sometimes the little things are the biggest things. And I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Yes, and especially because of the Western society that we live in, which tells us everything opposite of that. And everything is external validation and what have you achieved. And I think we've had this conversation before too, where just being Margie DeRosso is enough and just being Fran Medina is enough. But, it's true. We want to express that in a way that resonates with us and it's aligned with us and is creative and makes us happy, right? But we really don't even have to do anything other than be who we are, And anyway, I think that's a good place to end.
But this sure went fast. I know I talked a lot, but it was really.
Well, one last thing, Margie, where can people contact you? I am going to put it in the show notes, but if you want to share.
Yeah, well, I'm on Facebook, so it's Margie DeRosso. There's also a Margie and Dave fan club, which is kind of been, I will admit I have been neglectful, so it's kind of doesn't have a whole lot, but I am going to start kind of making that happen a little bit. And my email address, pretty much, which you said you can share on your podcast too.
Yes.
Yeah. Right now, that is kind of where I'm at with contact information.
Okay,
So
that's quite a bit. That's good. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Anything else that you wanted to share before we?
Just for you, I'm really, really happy you're doing this. And I think that to let people know that life is messy and life is not perfect, and to have people understand that and feel okay about themselves is a really great service. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Margie. Okay, well, thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends, thank you for listening to another episode of It's Messy, but It's So Good. And thank you, Margie, for being a guest today and sharing your experience, your journey, your beautiful kindness and essence. I think everyone has felt that through the airwaves. And also, if you're interested in listening to any of Margie's chanting CDs, they are for sale and they're absolutely beautiful and would be such a lovely addition to your meditation, or even just for the holidays to just grace your house with some good vibrations. You can reach out to Margie on Facebook at Margie DeRosso, and you can reach her at her email at margiederosso59@gmail.com. You can catch that in the show notes. And again, thank you so much, Margie, and we'll see you next time. Happy holidays.